Our final speaker of today is Antonio Zanghi, CEO of technical compliance solutions provider Maxima Compliance, also joining from London, I guess. Antonio, how are you?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for having us, Willem, today, and welcome to everyone on the call.
A pleasure. As with the other speakers, we will start with an audience poll. In order to participate, go to the QR code, participate in the poll, and that poll right now is from a technical perspective. What is the biggest obstacle in the Dutch remote gaming licensing process? So please take a moment to go to Slido. You can also do that in your browser, going to slido.com and use the event code GIH. And the poll question here is, and let's give it a few seconds because I think it's really important and interesting to hear the audience perspective here. From a technical perspective, what is the biggest obstacle in the Dutch remote gaming? So we have here a second with 40%, setting up the control database, and technical compliance as 50%. That brings us to Antonio here. And the first question, with this poll result in the background, Antonio, what is the Dutch regulator's approach to the technical compliance, or what are some of the main issues, as we just saw, that license applicants are confronted with?
I mean, it's hardly surprising that the audience responses actually sits within technical compliance and the control database. I mean, the Dutch approach, the KSA approach to the submissions has been very much an iterative process where in the initial submission phase, the license will include some basic information about, for example, system diagrams and general PAM platform compliance, as well as a description of the vault they will intend to use for the jurisdictions. But then as the application progress, there is KSA testing that needs to be performed with the authority, not only with the KSA but also with the tax authority. And I think this is where the complexity starts, because obviously it is absolutely important that the documentation of the KSA, whether you're using a third-party supplier, whether you're using your own integrated platform, integrated data vault, then you'll be required to provide documentation that describes to the minimum details the data model that has been used, or, for example, the type of mapping that has been used on a platform level to be able to ensure that the messaging is correct. So it is the regulator's approach is that reviews the documentation and then kind of progress and ask more questions. And in the event that your documentation is not in order, that becomes a real problem. I mean, you could see this, in fact, in the first wave of applications. I think when the first licenses were announced, the regulator had announced that the biggest problem that they found during the licensing process was technical compliance. So hardly surprising that this is what the audience is also perceiving.
Yeah, thank you for the analysis, Antonio, quite clear. That brings us also to the second question then, problem solution. How can Maxima Compliance assist in solving these issues that you just mentioned?
I mean, Maxima has been supporting many Dutch license holder now and applicants in all areas of technical compliance, namely the preparation of the system diagrams and documentation of the kind of systems, as well as the preparation of general change management and QMS, which are the key two things to be able to operate the businesses in a compliant manner. On top of that, as a data vault supplier, as a CDB supplier with Maxima Data Vault, we've been able to assist customers in effectively getting through the testing with the KSA in a super fast speed, simply because obviously we provide the solution, but we also provide consulting services. So basically, we are the only provider in the Netherlands that provides a full solution for technical compliance.
Quite clear and helpful information here from you, Antonio. Appreciate everybody staying within the allotted time today. We have time for one audience question, and look at Slido. What there is, please don't hesitate to go to Slido, as said before, either in your browser or in your app. And we have a question from the audience here about the control database. What distinguishes your control database solution from other ones currently available in the market? So the unique.
I mean, the answer here, I think, is pretty simple. I think the technology that we use make the integration substantially faster. So our model in the way the integration works makes time to market a lot faster. On top of that, we have JSON and XML API documentation, so both integrations are possible. On top of that, we have a console which no other suppliers have. This enables to have a specific country view as well as multiple jurisdictional view of the vault, and effectively enabling to see the total data from all suppliers that you have at any given point. But then the most important thing, as I was mentioning earlier, that unlike any other suppliers, we have a consulting firm attached to it, which effectively means not only we help you with the solution, but we also help you to implement all the work around it. So this is why it makes it effectively unique, a unique proposition.
That sounds like a unique proposition indeed. And if you'd like to know more about Maxima Compliance products and services, you can see here how to contact Antonio. And you will be able to review that later in the video that will be posted tomorrow as well. Antonio, thank you for joining us from London, and great to see you again.